Day 2 of the Stanley Cup playoffs underway. No 5 overtime game this time, but plenty of drama and fun throughout. Let's talk about it right now on Teal Town After Dark. Good evening, everyone. It is August 12th, 2020. Night 2 of the Stanley Cup playoffs underway. Everybody's gotten the game in now, even the one that got postponed until 8 a.m. And that's right, folks. You were talking hockey. We were been watching hockey since 8 a.m. and we're finishing up right now at 10:20 p.m. out here on the West Coast. So welcome to this edition of Teal Town After Dark, Stanley Cup edition. I am Eric Curra. You can follow me on Twitter at PuckGuy14. Good to see you all. Tell your friends. And if you want to be part of the show, here's how you do it. Chat with us and fellow hockey fans and, of course, Sharks fans in the YouTube chat on the page or the app. Follow us on the social, whether it's Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, SoundCloud, Reddit, all on Teal Town USA. And, of course, for more Sharks content, visit tealtownusa.com. You got me tonight. I'm Eric. Good to see you all. Thanks for joining us. Do us a favor. Hit that subscribe button. Tell all your friends. Come on. We're talking hockey in August, for crying out loud. Live hockey in August. Yes, our beloved Sharks, for most of us here, are not in the playoffs. We do have a lot of former Sharks in the playoffs, though, and it's good to see a lot of them get participating this one. And we had a lot of participation going on this day. We began the day early at 8 a.m. to the Bruins and Hurricanes to make up for the postponed night, thanks to Tampa Bay and Columbus, quote-unquote, hogging the ice, per se, if you were looking at the Canes Twitter feed. They were on a roll last night. But Boston gets this one and in double overtime. Of course it went to overtime because, of course, why not? And kudos to the NHL having this plan in place where they kind of had a little bit of a bumper here to get the games caught up a little bit. Yeah, the Caps and Islanders, I think, was delayed for an hour. But they were able to get the final game off for Philly, Montreal on time. So kudos to them for that quick turnaround. And it's not easy. I think they need about 85-90 minutes to get the switch over done and give them some time to get the warm-ups and the game time going and everything there. So kudos all around there. But back to Boston and Carolina. You knew you didn't see Boston getting all showing their cards in the round robin. Boston played hard. They played tough. They took care of they took advantage of a handy break, per se. Was it a hand pass? Was it high sticking? Was it goaltender interference because Mrazek had the puck? I mean, what could it have been? And the tough part for Carolina coach Rod Barrymore, you're on the bench. You're literally looking between your legs to see what you're challenging, plus getting kudos for what you should get from your video coach, in the back. That's a tough call. And when the official says you have to decide on which one you're going to call to review it, I'm sorry. That's so tough to decide on, like Marty T, good evening to you. Was it worth $25,000? Does it send a message? Could it change something in the off season? Obviously, you can't change anything right now, but could we see something, down the road where you could challenge both? And we're getting into gray areas and complications and all that stuff. Maybe you have to declare the multiple infractions that need to be challenged. We'll see. It might take longer. Will the league want to go longer on reviews? I don't know. Ruben, I can't show what you wrote on there when you say that. But yeah, and it's amazing how quickly that fine came out. Like, what did the game end at? Like 12 something, 1 o'clock on the Pacific time zone, and like a couple hours later, boom, 25,000. And the funny thing is that 25,000 we've seen where players will get fines for dangerous hits or slashes or anything like that, and I doubt I've seen anything like more than 10,000. Now, of course, that's probably in the CBA. I mean, let's be real here. It's probably in the CBA, but you know, but dang, 25,000 for telling that like it is. Rod, if you're watching, and I probably doubt it because it is 1:30 in the morning out on the East Coast. Wait, I'm sorry. You guys are playing by the Space Needle. My bad. So it's 10:29. You're awake. That's fine. Have a YouTube channel. I can't see them. They can't say what on the YouTube channel, right? Or that's where you have one of your burner accounts or something. Marty T asking why not just ask for a generic challenge if the ref sees something he can call it. Why does the coach need to specify? Oh, all right. 21 pucks. Rod got speared by the no-nos by the league. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, and that's the thing. Why does he need to specify? I get it that it could delay the game a little bit more. And maybe you check two things, and maybe if you're wrong on both, maybe it's a double minor or something. I don't know. It kind of runs the risk of it, so that way you're not challenging everything. So David H. The social media has been so good from the NHL in the bubble. Yeah, they've been knocking it out of the park. I think Edmonton started getting it going a little bit, and then Toronto caught up a little bit last night with everything, like the time for the 7th period stretch. We apologize, which I personally was like, oh, wow, they can apologize to more than just Vegas. That's great. But that being said, that was almost an easy shot by Patrice Bergeron. I mean, Mrazek was like already out of the net when he shot it, and it just looked like it was a crazy, just a nice usual rush. Marchand, and it eventually gets to Bergeron where he buries it. Gee, what a shock. Patrice Bergeron with the game winner in double overtime. Bruins go up 1-0. Do I think that Carolina is out of it? Oh, absolutely not. They played too well for that to happen. I can't see that happening. But like I said earlier, did Boston get things going early? And maybe hid their cards a little bit? Probably. I wouldn't be surprised if we see more. To me, it's a toss-up. You could see Carolina tie this series, or Boston just dominate game 2 and put a stranglehold on Carolina. Remains to be seen, and that's the beauty of the playoffs, is that you just don't know what's going to happen next. So we go to Edmonton, and Christ, I'm trying to remember what was the second game of this one. Arizona and Colorado, if I'm not mistaken. You have that one. In Colorado, my goodness, just dominating on the shot total. Darcy Kemper, I mean, kudos to him for standing on his head for most of the game. Arizona couldn't get any shots. I think they had like 7 after 2 periods. They weren't getting anything going. And then Colorado gets a burst of 3 goals in a minute 23. They had 2 goals in 10 seconds. And it was just that alone. That was the decider. It was a minute 23. I mean, that's how close this game was in that sense. But I think even Hockey Trick even said Colorado should be running away with this game. It was just that bad. It was just that domination by Colorado. Grubauer did a great job. Nazem Kadri. You don't think there are Leafs fans right now that are sick to their stomach that they see Nazem Kadri with the game-winning goal and not take out somebody during the game? It's a suspendable offense. Yeah, that trade's not looking good right now for Toronto, and boy, howdy, do they really need some sort of good things going on right now. But Colorado with the 3-0 victory, they go up 1-0 in the series against the Desert Dogs. Sorry, I don't have my drink, so I can't even drink that. So AJ, if you're watching, have your drink. But I mean, Colorado with great performance. Give kudos, like I said, to Darcy Kemper for keeping the Coyotes in this game. Coyotes need to find some offense, and they need to find some shots quickly, or this one's going to get ugly really quick. Really quick. Requesting the next one be Caps and the Islanders. Caps were up 2-0. They looked pretty decent. And then, surprisingly, Caps, they were Sharks East again. They had a 2-goal lead. They thought they had it in the bag. Everything looked good. Then you give up a goal. You give up a goal late in the second to make it 2-1. You could feel that momentum with the Islanders. And sure enough, boom, Anders Lee gets the tying goal about a minute into the third. And it's 2-2. You're like, oh boy, we got a hockey game now. Islanders aren't going anywhere. And we all know Barry Trotz knows the Caps very well as to who he has, or with him coaching them for a number of years. So he has that in that back. And then the next thing you know, game over. Good night. Drive home safely. They get a shorthanded goal from Josh Bailey. Come back complete. They're up 3-2. They get an insurance goal by Bolivier to finish it. Bolivier underrated in the postseason so far, and I guess we have to separate it from playoffs and postseason, because Bolivier I think had like 2 goals in the series clincher against Florida. Varlamov has played well. Obviously, they're going with him as the starting goaltender, not Thomas Greiss. But the Islanders, we knew the Islanders weren't gonna be pushed around or anything like that. We knew that. But Washington, 2-0, and you still don't have the foot on the gas. I mean, Ovi, for sure. Come on, bud. You know better. In that first goal, if I remember it correctly, I'm not sure how Holtby missed it. It's almost like he was just like try to catch it like a kitty cat or something. I don't know. Just a surprise. But again, it's early. It's one game. And of course, these game ones always get highly criticized because you're only basing on one game. Hashtag, this is where AJ, I would say hashtag small sample size for the series. And you're right. You're right in regards to all that. And then you had Philly and Montreal. And I thought how Philly played in the round robin, I thought for sure we see domination all over the place. Whether it's, Connor Hart just standing on his head. And he did a fairly good job tonight as well. Or just seeing like Giroux, Couturier, Provorov, in company just light up. But you must respect the phenomenal play of Carey Price. Carey Price kept them in this game again. Shea Weber, the captain, picks up the rebound, shoots it in, ties it at 1. We had a hockey game, and then Farabee. And I sorry for the dad jokes on the Twitter gif, But, he was buzzing around the net, waiting for it, buried home a puck, game over. Got behind the defense and beat Price. Open net, game over, So you take advantage of all of those things. Connor Hartz is gonna be a good goalie. Is he gonna steal games? Yeah, he might. Is he gonna go 85 saves like Korpisalo did on Wednesday night? No. But it's one of those things where, yeah, these guys look good. They didn't have to be flashy. They didn't have to annihilate a proponent. It wasn't like, the Niners playing a high school squad. You're not going to get that. But, yeah, I mean, they played a solid victory. Only allowed one. They got two. It was good enough. And, good enough for right now is good enough. It got you one game in the series. Is that going to change? Oh, yeah. That will. You can't tell me Montreal won't be. And then I think, kind of the surprise of the night. As much as I would think maybe the Islanders were the surprise over Washington. But, and I can hear most of you cringe, but Vancouver, the Canucks score 5 on St. Louis. Like, seriously, 5 on St. Louis against the defending Cup champs. And yeah, we saw how the Blues weren't exactly lighting it up in the round robin in the West. But the Canucks used their speed to get things going early. Again, the Canucks were going up against a team that wants to use its strength, its grit, its power, its hitting. A gift of Perron trying to cause crap with Pettersson, which, okay. I think he's used to it now. But, however, the Canucks are going to need down the road. It may not happen this year. They might need to do it next year. But they're going to need somebody that's going to, make opponents pay if they're going to try to take out Pettersson. Because it's so obvious that he has a target on him. I don't think he has the Orca C logo on the front. It's that, But you look at Pettersson scoring. Troy Stetcher, oh my goodness. I think he had just lost his dad. And just him looking up into the sky. Well, in this case, the rooftop of Rogers Place. And I see it kind of like, underneath the screen here for the Canucks who tweeted out, that one was for you, Dad. It gets you. Because that's the emotion of the Stanley Cup playoffs coming in. It's not just a regular season game. It's not just game 65 of 82. There's some meaning to it. And that turns out to be the game-winning goal. Markstrom played well. He was a little shaky early. Bennington, I thought, was all right. But then he let in some softies. It's like, my goodness. That, some of those were not pretty. And Bennington should have had, I think it was Jeff Ponder, our friend at Let's Go Blues Radio on Twitter, saying that's one Bennington should have had. And again, those goals will happen during the playoffs. But in order to become a Stanley Cup champion, and in order to go deep into the playoffs, you need to try to finish these series early. These early series you need to finish as quickly as you can. It will cost you in the long run. You can't tell me if the Sharks had a chance to close out Vegas in 5 or 6 games, at how huge of an advantage it would have been. If they did. Yeah, it would have been. It could have been. Would have been a nice way to do it. They probably would have been a lot more refreshed to play Colorado round 2. But for this year and everything, You got to try and knock things out early and quickly and often. You can't let up. You can't have those mental mistakes. Now, there has been a lot of issues with the officiating. Some games are getting called really tight, some are getting loose. And Marty T in the chat going, if the officiating stays the same, the Blues are going to get choked out early. Lots of questionable calls. Vancouver is a rushing team. Yeah. Do we have a precedence? I don't know. You have coaches lobbying for calls. When isn't there a playoff here where a coach isn't calling for calls? I can't see it. But the officiating has to get... You try to have it to get as uniform as possible. So when the coach is saying, well, guess what? I saw it in Game 1 against Carolina and Boston. You called it this way. Why are you calling it now? And let's be honest here. When has officiating ever been the same from previous games in the season? Definitely regular season. Just doesn't happen. And honestly, we saw on Tuesday night against Tampa Bay and Columbus that puck over glass penalty in the 5th overtime. You know how horrible that would have been if Tampa Bay wins the game on a power play goal where the guy had the puck flicker over the glass? I mean, think about that for a second. You lose a game on a puck over a glass penalty. Happened to the Sharks in 2007. I believe it was Game 4 against the Red Wings. Sharks had blown the lead late. I think it was Craig Rivet had the puck shot over the glass. Sure enough, Detroit takes care of it and scores a power play goal. Game over. I think it was Matthew Schneider, if I'm not mistaken. But the officiating, you got to make sure that these guys are safe, but you also have to make sure you're not going to be calling these ticky-tacky calls, especially against certain teams that look like they're favored. You do not want that bias showing. I'm sorry, but you do not want that to show. So, but Vancouver tonight, the guys came out to play. Bo Horvat with 2 goals, his second one to get the insurance goal for the Canucks. Nifty move to get by Dunn. Then a sweet shot that beat Bennington, and Bennington was like, "Oh, I should have had that one." The Canucks keep this up. I'm not going to get it going here. And trust me, you don't. If you think if you think Canucks fans are excited, just tune into TSN 1040 once we go off the air here, because man, they go up or down. But again, it's only one game. It's a small sample size. The teams that lost tonight are going to be hungry to get it back even. Plain and simple. So, with that, let's go to the brackets now. In the Eastern bracket, Philly won tonight, so they're up 1-0 in the series. They'll play again Friday at noon. Tomorrow at noon, Columbus and Tampa Bay. Thank goodness they got some rest. Tampa Bay up 1-0 after that crazy 5 overtime game the other night. Will Columbus come back? I think so. I think so. And for the Sharks, please Columbus come back. Please Columbus come back. Islanders and Capitals are up 1-0. The Isles are up 1-0 on the Capitals. Friday at 5 p.m. for Game 2. Boston, Carolina, well, they go back-to-back, although this one's nice. They come back Thursday at 5 p.m., so they get a little time to rest up after their 2 overtime game. So, in the West, Thursday at 2:30, you have the Golden Knights up 1-0 against Chicago. Colorado won today, up 1-0 in their series with the Coyotes. They'll be Friday at 11 a.m. Dallas and Calgary begin a back-to-back set Thursday night at 7:30. Calgary up 1-0 in that series. And then, of course, the one that you just saw finishing up, Vancouver and St. Louis, they'll get together again at 3:30 on Friday. And Vancouver's up 1-0 there. So that's what you have in that sense. Al Martinet. Hey, Al, good to see you. Good morning to you, technically. So burn down Toronto if Vancouver loses game 2. Oh, of course not. No. It's way too early. Now, if we have callers saying, from TSN saying, hey, you know what? Let them win a game. Feel sorry for the Blues. Yeah, no. If there's one thing that irked AJ and I when listening to Vancouver sports radio is that, just let them win one game so that way we could celebrate here. Well, first off, they can't celebrate there. So let's get that out of your head. Secondly, you win it when you can win it. Absolutely. Get it through your head. So nothing major happened today. We didn't have any new uniforms unveiled. We didn't have this wonderful thing come out. In case you missed it, though, Mike Milbury saying the Space Needle is in Toronto. But the other thing on there as well is I believe we should end these games sooner via 3-on-3 or shoot after a time. What do you think? For a guy that's hard-nosed and very traditional, I'm surprised Milbury is asking for these to end early. Then again, he mentioned about, I think it was the Flyers and Canadiens game. Hurry up, just get into the box, serve your penalty, and get out. It's do you have a dinner date up in the Space Needle? Do you need to go back to the hotel room? It's what's going on here? I know your Bruins won. You used to play and coach the Bruins. I get it. And you've had 3 games. Kudos to you and John Forsland, for being out there a whole time. But my goodness, if you don't want to be there, don't go. Have just Bush and Forsland call the game. I don't know why they have to shove Mike Milbury down our throats, but it is what it is. That's what NBC wants, Marty T saying Space Needle is in Toronto and Banff is in Edmonton. All right. So, with that, I think we will wrap it up here. That gets you caught up in the world of the Stanley Cup playoffs. You have a number of games going on tomorrow, so check those out. Of course, we'll be back with you tomorrow to just take place to what you're seeing here. So there are 13 people. Thank you very much. Can we get some more thumbs up at least, gang? Be nice than just one. So, but if you missed anything, you want to watch this again, you can check us out on tealtownusa.com or YouTube. We also have a number of podcasts on there, whether it's Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, YouTube, SoundCloud, Spotify, TuneIn, Stitcher, Heart Radio. If we aren't on a, goody, my mic has decided to die. That's a great time for that to go out. There we go. If check out our content at teal10usa.com if you haven't already. AJ had part 2 of his Fanatic series, and it's a really riveting article. Definitely brought his receipts. Excuse me. He definitely brought his receipts with this one, especially that Brady Shea Calgary Flames jersey. Yikes. David H., thank you for the thumbs up. People, thank you for the thumbs up. Appreciate all of you immensely. It totally does help us out. throughout the night. So check that out. Of course, we did a Pucknologist on Sunday night, so check that out on there. And of course, you got the audio edition as well on there. We'll be back tomorrow, following night 3 of the Stanley Cup playoffs. We'll see if we have anybody else go quintuple overtime. That would be fun, right? Definitely. So that'll do it for now. If we have any Sharks news, we will bring it to you. Unfortunately, there just isn't any at the moment. So hopefully there will be down the road, and where we can enjoy each other and enjoy the Sharks slowly coming back. I will say this: visited San Jose yesterday, or on Tuesday, and they're getting to work on the Barracuda Arena. They have begun doing the Barracuda Arena. And can't wait to see what it looks like. Looking forward to it for sure. So we'll have something on that coming very soon indeed. David H., again, thank you for your thumbs up. And Hernandez, dude, I miss Sharks hockey. You're not the only one, man. Or woman. Or whoever. Yeah, we miss it so much. Can't wait for December to get around. Cooler temperatures makes wearing a hockey jersey a lot more comfortable. So with that, let's get out of here. I appreciate every one of you joining me. Again, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell that tells you when we go on the air. And of course, tell your friends. We are at past the 2,050 mark, and honestly, I would love to have the 100,000 subscriber plaque. That's an ideal goal, and I would love to do that. But that's gonna happen not for a very long time. So we'll hang in there for right now. But to the 2,000 plus of you who have subscribed, appreciate it. Thank you very much. I know it's weird to have hockey talk in August, but definitely check out all of our interviews that we've done throughout the NHL pause. Quite interesting. We have more in the can to come, and we're having fun with it, and fun must be always, as Tomas Hertl would say. So with that, I'll leave you. Appreciate everything you guys do. Thank you for your support through always. Hit us up on the social media. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Check out our content right over here, and we will get back to you tomorrow with more of the coverage of the Stanley Cup playoffs. Until then, keep it real, keep it teal, keep it real teal. Have a great night, everyone. We'll see you tomorrow.